Hey, and welcome to this section on accountability from the ACT modules within the Design Your Success series. Accountability includes how we relate to responsibility for our actions. Our ability in self-accountability generally increases with our willingness to take responsibility for our results. When we are not accountable for our actions, generally we are less likely to follow through with action. If we choose to take little responsibility, we will generally achieve little results. When we take more responsibility for our actions, hold ourselves accountable, we are more likely to create results that lead to our version of success. How much we hold ourselves accountable or rely on others will be based on where we are in the adult growth model, which was created by Sharon Pearson for the body of knowledge called metadynamics. There are 4 R's in the adult growth model: reliance, rebellion, results, and realization. At each level, there are resourceful and unresourceful ways we can create accountability. We progress through each level in sequence. We cannot skip levels. There may be some areas of your life where you're at one level and others you are at another. The model can be applied to a range of behaviours and subjects. Today, we are going to focus just on accountability. Let's start with reliance. Unresourcefully, in reliance, accountability is shaped and held by others, the people we think are watching us, real or imagined. Often at this stage, we are wishing, waiting and hoping for others to tell us what to do. There is little to no self-initiation, and we can find ourselves living the dream of others instead of the dreams of ourselves. In resourceful reliance, we seek out those who have the results we want with a similar ethos and follow their footsteps as we create our success. When seeking a mentor or a role model to be accountable to, we must ask ourselves 2 questions. Who are they and what have they done? The who are they relates to identifying their ethos, what matters to them, the way in which they achieve their results. What have they done relates to the successes that they have had in the area we are looking to follow them. For example, in terms of living a life on my terms, designing my success and creating a pathway to achieve it, it would be fair to guess I have the results you seek in a way that is similar to your ethos and respecting what is important to you. In terms of learning to play the guitar, I'm not who you would follow if you wanted to succeed. My attitude and actions in that arena do not contribute to successfully playing the guitar. So if that is your goal, you would seek out someone who has a different attitude and action record that will create those results in playing guitar. Some people have followed anyone and everyone without discernment, and then they feel let down, at which point they probably move to a place of rebellion. Rebellion is generally driven by a desire to make up for mistakes, which for many has been to follow the wrong people in reliance. We may rebel against people and try to, in the words of my son when he was 3, do it self. When those people don't have the results we desire or an ethos that aligns with us, this is a good choice. When we do have mentors who have the success we desire and their methods align with our ethos, this strategy of rebellion is unresourceful. Sometimes we will do this from having been burned in the past and painting everyone with the same brush. We can find ourselves rebelling against everyone based on the actions of one person, or an entire person based on the actions of one moment. This level of generalization is unresourceful. It's important we access people based on their actions and results. It's also important to judge on the overall qualities, not single moments. Everyone makes mistakes, has bad days, and is human. When we look at the overall view, then we can judge with more clarity. It's also important to consider how we deliver those responses through that rebellion. For example, in the realm of my business, my husband has no results that I desire and a very different ethos. When he offers me advice, from a great place in his heart, I say thank you and either respectfully remind him that he doesn't have the experience from which to have me follow his advice, or end the conversation at thank you with no intention of following through. I am now also cautious of asking him for advice in a realm in which he has no experience. Unresourceful reliance used to mean I asked him for everything. Resourceful reliance now has me seeking the people with the successes I desire. Part of resourceful rebellion is to stop asking advice from people who don't have the same ethos or results that we desire. Another part of resourcefully rebelling is when we start to move away from our past self, the patterns, the self-sabotage that have been holding us back, and start moving towards reconnecting with our core self. This is a big rabbit hole that we will explore more of in the module on congruency. Many people are in a place of unresourceful reliance or rebellion, and so we could leave this conversation here, and I'm sure you would have learned something to apply. In the interests of completing the model, let's also briefly look at realization and results. Results. Unresourceful results are driven by our current self seeking out short-term pleasure and to avoid pain. Resourceful results are looking at the longer view, seeking to design our success and create moments our future self will look back and say, thank you. This is what created me. Realization. Unresourcefully, we think we have arrived. One of my mentors says that we are either green and growing or ripe and rotting. So the assumption that we have arrived means that we are about to enter a decline. Resourcefully at the realization stage, we realize that we've become a version of our future self, and we acknowledge there is so much more that we can tap into and continue to dance between the other levels resourcefully. Creating a resourceful reliance by seeking mentors who can be relied on to share the pathway to success, rebelling against the old patterns and behaviors that were stopping our results, and taking the actions to create results in alignment with becoming your future ultimate you. To feel wholly accomplished, truly fulfilled, and deeply satisfied, we must learn to become accountable to our future selves, which starts with choosing appropriate people to be reliant on, asking for help, and getting support as you rebel against your past, taking actions towards creating the results as you move towards your ultimate future self. Take the time now to look over the handout, reflect on where you are within the model, who you rely on that may not be resourceful, where you can access support and become resourcefully reliant. As a hint, our Facebook group is pretty epic. The old patterns you may need to start rebelling against, and what your ultimate future self might look like. Love to know what you loved, what you learned, and what you are going to apply as a result of this conversation. Please share over in the Facebook group. I look forward to hearing about your successes, the actions you are taking on your pathway to living life as your future self. Have a phenomenal day.